काय हॅलो ऐकून
अरे
आणि
काय
इथं
बोलत
लगेच
नाही
फोन
तू?
करणार आहे गांडूला की नीट होतंय कळलं का बघा.
Okay, hello and welcome back to Cricket. And today we'll be discussing about match 1 to match 5. We've got some thrilling games to talk about.
Yeah, IPL
Obviously,
2018 has started and it's been excellent with the start. Two thrilling games from CSK.
Yeah.
What a comeback CSK has made. It has been absolutely excellent. One person joining us in Cricket at the live. This is the second live streaming we are doing this IPL. Obviously, before the IPL, we had one live streaming. If you have any questions, you may ask us. We'll just discuss in short 3-4 questions which we have noted down here in the trends in this IPL this year. Talking about Jasprit Bumrah.
yeah, he had a bad day with the ball against CSK. So he gave away 20 runs against Dwayne Bravo. So
Yeah, 27 were required of the last 2 overs, and there is a guy, Jasprit Bumrah, a renowned death bowler, and absolutely just didn't get it spot on. 3 full tosses, 3 sixes
Yeah.
in the crowd.
yeah, so that was disappointing, to see from Jasprit Bumrah. He's such a good bowler, Uh, so, uh, it wasn't good to see about him.
So the question we ask at Cricket Adda is Jasprit Bumrah really one of the best death bowlers in the IPL? Not in the for the Indian team or not for in the international circuit, in the IPL. Because if we look at the stats, average economy at the death is 9.95, whereas the economy of Jasprit Bumrah at the death is 9.9. So the stats show that he's an average death bowler. What are
Yeah.
your thoughts on that? Your take on that?
I think he's a good test bowler. I think he's a good T20 bowler. Obviously, his international record is good, but I think he's a good IPL bowler as well. As you had mentioned, he's been bowling in the IPL since 2013, and obviously his first few years weren't good. So that's why I feel he started to now really come into his groove, started to well. So I think earlier he wasn't bowling so well. So that's why maybe his economy rate might be high.
Yeah, that's a good point made there. He has started playing the IPL since 2013, where he was not that forced to reckon. So it's an interesting point made there. So maybe those stats are included. Obviously,
Yeah.
those stats are
Because
included.
if you see the last season stats, they're
Yeah,
really good.
2017 IPL, 16 games, 20 wickets at an economy rate of 7.43, which is absolutely excellent.
Yeah, it's a really good economy rate. I feel maybe this year I think he'll still be very good. So let's start about. So let's take in the second question that
Now,
we
the
have to
second
discuss.
question is again an Indian fast bowler who has been excellent with India in the Test format, has been good at times in the ODI format, especially in the 2015 World Cup. But when we talk about this player in the IPL and in the T20 format, he has been absolutely below par.
Yeah.
And that is Mohammad Shami. So the question we ask at Cricket Adda is Mohammad Shami a T20 bowler by any means?
I don't think so. He's a T20 bowler.
Does he have the variation? Does he have the Yorker? Does he have that, as you call those options to bowl at the death at the start in the middle overs?
I don't think so. Personally, I don't rate Mohammad Shami as a very good test bowler, as a very good T20 bowler. But I don't know why so much of money was spent on him.
4.2 crore for Mohammad Shami being RTM for Delhi Daredevils. Do you think it was worth it?
I don't think it was worth it.
There are some youngsters sitting in on the bench. Avesh Khan. There's somebody like Harshal Patel, Sayan Ghosh. Do you see they coming back in the side after 2-3 games when Mohammad Shami won't perform?
I think they will come into the side when I think Mohammad Shami will obviously after a few games he will be out of the 11. I think some youngster will definitely come in there.
I'm backing Avesh Khan here.
Yeah, Avish Khan's a good player. But Mohammad Shami, I don't think so. He's a good T20 bowler. His stats are just really bad.
Nah, just telling the stats quickly here. 70-20 eyes, 8 wickets at an economy of 10.56. Your thoughts on the economy?
I think it's a very bad economy. It's definitely not what he's renowned for. He's a test bowler, and you don't actually want to see him.
Hampering his
Yeah,
chances.
really.
And the IPL stats 32 matches, 18 wickets, and an economy rate of 9.04, which is absolutely not great.
Yeah, it's very bad. You don't want to see I personally, Mohammad Shami just played seven matches for India. Definitely now he's not even in the reckoning for
the T20. There is just Preet Bumrah, there's Bhuvneshwar Kumar, you have somebody like Shardul Thakur coming in, you have Jaydev Unadkat who has done
He's
really well.
not. He's not going to be there.
Another question now, just taking two more questions here quickly. Win the toss, bowl first, chase the target, win the match. Is this a formula to win a T20 game?
It's looking to be a formula. It's a formula which has been used for many years. Even in one-day cricket, you chase. You know how much you have to do, how much you have to get per over. You know how many wickets you should be having. So it's good. I think another factor which is the due factor.
Absolutely good point made there because the IPL game started 8 p.m. There is definite dew coming in at 10:30. So the bowlers bowling second, especially if they're dead bowlers, they can't get their Yorkers, can't get their slower ones. So it's really important that you are chasing at that point of time. At some grounds like the Wankhede or the Chinnaswamy Stadium, or you saw yesterday, it is really difficult to defend some totals. So two people joining in for Cricket Adda live streaming. So this is a definite type of formula you can be using. Some teams don't rely on that formula. Somebody like Sunrisers Hyderabad maybe who have a really good bowling attack can defend totals like 150. They can go the other way around.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a good point. But let's see. Yesterday we saw such a high scoring match. 200 runs were scored, and still the chasing team won. So definitely it's a
So,
trend
so the
here.
last 4 overs, wickets in hand 50, 55, at times 60 are even gettable if the death bowlers are not that good. Talking about the death bowlers, one question coming in here is, do you think KKR should rope in one of the under 19 stars instead of Vinay Kumar, who has conceded many runs and is not reliable at all? Good question from Saurabh Wandekar. That is a point we are going to make here now. Vinay Kumar bowling the first over 14 runs, bowling the last over 16 runs. In the second game, bowling the first over 16 runs, bowling the second over 19 runs. Do you think he's worth his place in the playing 11? Bowling just 2 overs as a specialist bowler, as an experienced bowler, bowling at the death and losing your games.
I think definitely under 19 Nagarkoti Mavi has to come in after such a bad performance from Vinay Kumar. Definitely, he will. I think someone of us, Nagarkoti or Mavi will come in. It's Vinay Kumar has had a bad.
Yeah, he is not had a great start. He is an experienced bowler. Yes, he is in a good domestic season. He is a good, especially a good fast bowler for Karnataka, but he hasn't been at his best in this IPL.
Yeah.
One more question I will take here, which we have noted in the IPL is Mumbai Indians have just roped in a new guy called Mayank Markande. He has taken 3 wickets for 23 runs, has been excellent, got Ambati Raidu, got MS Dhoni with the googly. Do you think MI's scouting process is the best in the IPL?
I think it definitely is the best in the IPL.
Some examples.
You've seen Hardik Pandya, you've seen Krunal Pandya, you've seen
Jasprit
Jasprit
Bumrah.
Bumrah.
Kuldeep Yadav, first of all, was with the Mumbai Indians.
Yeah.
Not with the Mumbai Indians, I would say with the Reliance. He was signed by the Mumbai Indians, I guess, for 1 year. Then you have somebody like Yuzvendra Chahal, who was with the Mumbai Indians in 2010, 2011, didn't get a game. Then shifted to RCB and where he was excellent in the Chinnaswamy Stadium. So these 4-5 stars who are now playing for India, who are stars in the Indian team, especially Jasprit Bumrah, Hardik Pandya, Chahal and Kuldeep.
Yeah.
Do you think it is the best?
Yeah, I think it's really the best. Talking about few players like Hardik Pandya, Krunal Pandya. No domestic record. There is nothing to be proud of. Domestic record, nothing to show for. But when they've come to the big stage, when they're playing with all these great players, all these big teams, then they just take their level to the next height. And
somebody like Hardik Pandya is a good example of that in the Champions Trophy final. 76 or 43 deliveries, was excellent in that high profile game.
Yeah, some players just want to go for that big stage, better stage, and domestic record nothing. But when they come in international cricket, when they come in IPL, they just perform so well.
Yeah, so these are the 4 questions which we were noted in the IPL. These trends, so especially batting second, has been a really good trend in this
Yeah.
IPL. 5 games and 5 teams have won chasing. There's a question coming in the top 4 prediction after the first 5 matches. Especially Chennai Super Kings have been really good, so I think Chennai Super Kings can make.
Yeah, I think Chennai Super Kings still will somehow go through, because of their, every year they go get into top 4. and I feel somehow whatever however bad they play, I think they will finish in the top four. Still.
Another point I would like to make is Sunrisers Hyderabad.
Yeah,
are
I
looking
think
a really
Sunrisers
strong team.
Hyderabad.
Look at the bowling. Rashid Khan, 4 overs to the bank. Bhuvneshwar Kumar, 4 overs to the bank. You have somebody like Shakib Al Hasan, who is a seasoned campaigner. Then somebody comes in like Billy Scanlon, like at 6 foot 8 inches, and bowls those bouncers where the Indian batsmen just don't know. Indian domestic batsmen just don't know what to do. Bowling over 140 kmph, at times over 150 kmph, and then you have Siddharth Kaul, who just takes 4 overs, 2 for 19.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant bowling attack.
Yeah, you can say Sunrisers. I'll give you my, I think, see Chennai Super Kings. I put in Sunrisers Hyderabad. I think I'll go with Mumbai Indians.
You're still backing Mumbai.
Yeah, I am still
They have
going
a
to
good
back.
team. They just didn't bowl well in the last
Yeah.
3 overs. Jasprit Bumrah didn't get his spot on. Mitchell McClennan leaked some runs, and Mustafizur wasn't.
But
at
I
his
think
best.
when they are at their best, it's a really
Yeah.
good bowling attack.
And even Rohit Sharma and Evan Lewis
Yeah.
didn't fire. So if all these fire,
Yeah.
even 2 or 3 of these fires, it's going to be.
Yeah, so I'm
good.
going to go with Sunrisers Hyderabad, Chennai Super Kings, Mumbai Indians, and probably one of Delhi or Punjab.
Punjab are looking a
Punjab.
good side.
I think I'll
Punjab
go with Punjab.
those spinners, especially Mujib Zadran. On the live streaming before the IPL, one a good question came in from Saurabh Wandekar that whether Mujib Zadran will get a game. He got a game in Mohali,
Yeah.
and wow, what
What
a
a
game
game,
for
yeah, what a
him. 4 overs, 2 for 28, getting in that wicket, main wicket of Colin Munro, and then getting another big wicket. He was excellent.
Yeah, so if you have any questions, we'll be taking some questions now.
Kings 11
Uh,
Punjab, you're talking about Ashwin bowling leg spin. How do you see that?
Yeah, it's looking really well. I think he had a good game, got one wicket, good
For 4
economy.
overs, 1 for 23, which is excellent for
Yeah,
any
really
spinner in the T20 format.
Yeah, so that was a good performance by Ashwin. He's looking good as a captain as well. I think.
Yeah.
We got
Some changes were doubtful. Were bringing in Aksar against somebody like Gautam Gambhir, who has been a great player of spin.
Yeah, I think Akshar Patel. I think he didn't have a good game, but he will
He will bounce back. He's
Yeah,
a
he
good
will
player.
bounce back.
Talking about another replacement, Zahir Khan, who Afghanistan Chinaman bowler,
Yeah.
who has been injured,
Yeah.
is with the Rajasthan Royals, has been injured, is replaced by New Zealand leg spinner born in Punjab.
Yeah,
Ish Sodhi.
So that's a good replacement, very good replacement. Zahir Khan, he was definitely not going to play, I
Yeah.
feel. But now Ish Sodhi has a chance to come in with the Rajasthan Royals. So I think let's see whether or not he gets a game or not. Their spin bowling is not good. Krishna Gautam, Shreyas Gopal, they're not good bowlers. We've got a question here. Most of the teams on paper at the start of the tournament have lost their first games. Are they starting slow? And
Absolutely good question here. The teams which are looking good on the paper, especially Delhi Daredevils, Mumbai Indians, Rajasthan Royals to a certain extent, and the other team being, I guess, Kolkata Knight Riders lost one game, and RCB lost a game. Royal Challengers Bangalore, talking about them, I think they got the combination totally wrong. Playing both Brendan McCallum and Quinton de Kock, they are going in without a finisher first of all, and they are going in with just 5 bowlers. They definitely got their combination wrong. That they have to change their combination, and they are still a contender for the top 4. I think.
They are a definite contender.
They just have to get their combination right.
I think the first game they had only 5 bowlers. That is
5 pure bowlers. Nobody else was going to bowl. Baz was not going to bowl.
No.
De Kock was going to keep wickets, so no chance of bowling.
No.
Virat Kohli doesn't bowl. AB de Villiers doesn't bowl.
Mandeep
Sarfaraz and
Singh
Mandeep
don't
weren't
bowl.
going to bowl.
So they got only 5 bowlers. We saw Washington Sundar had a very bad day.
4 overs 48.
And then he doesn't have
a backup.
he doesn't have a backup. So that's a very bad
combination. That was a really poor decision from the RCB team management. Talking about Rajasthan Royals, I think they just have a bad day. Just had a bad day. They are a better team than what they showed on that day, especially if Ben Stokes and Josh Butler, the foreign stars. One thing I think they got wrong is Rahul Tripaঠি's batting position.
It was. I think he should be opening. I feel Rahul Tripathi and Darcy Short should be opening. Rahane should be batting at 3, and then you've got the rest of the guys, Josh Butler, Stokes, and all of those.
The firepower to come towards the end, they can smash it towards the end. Talking about the next team, Delhi Daredevils, they look a bit weak on their bowling. He had made a point in the preview as well. And talking about the other team which has lost, I think KKR lost one game, but they are a
Yeah.
pretty good side with their foreign stars firing.
Yeah, I think about KKR we already talked about is that the first 11 is very good. I think there's no doubt about their first 11, but the replacements, that is where they're going to suffer a bit. If someone gets injured, someone's not having a good game, a few good games, then they're going to suffer. We've got a
Especially
question.
with those Chris Lynn and Andre Russell, the
Yeah.
two superstars, and Sunil Narine as well. A question regarding Kolkata Knight Riders. Do you think someone like Shubman Gill will get a chance instead of Rinku Singh in the next match? Absolutely correct. I am backing Shubman Gill to get a game in the next match. What are your thoughts on that?
I think Rinku Singh might stay. I think you see youngsters, they are usually backed.
But again, Shubman Gill is also an youngster under 19.
Yeah, but Shubman Gill is not a player which will come in place of Rinku Singh. He's a top order player. I think
Yeah.
Rinku Singh is batting at number 5 or 6 or something like that.
For five.
So
Five,
obviously,
yes.
obviously Shubman Gill is not a middle order player. He's a top order player. I think if Uttapa or if Uttapa doesn't play well, then I think Shubman Gill will get his chance. I'm backing Rinku Singh for at least the first few matches.
Yeah, he didn't impress in the first two games. He makes a point that Rinku Singh will be back for another game. I think that it's time that Shubman Gill gets a game in the next match. Probably even if he's batting at number 6, I think Shubman Gill must get a game in the next match. Talking about the next team which lost, Mumbai Indians are really good. I just think they got it wrong in the last 3 overs.
Yeah, they got it wrong.
Bumrah,
Didn't have a
Mustafizur,
good
and
game.
Mitchell McLennan, all three didn't have a good time. Mayank Markande was excellent for
Yeah.
Mumbai Indians. They still are. I think all the 8 teams are looking balanced, and I
Yeah.
think you can't rule out any team
No,
out of the contention.
I don't think, at least now, I don't think you can definitely not rule out any. But out of all the 8 teams, I feel RR looked a bit disappointing. They have to be performing
Yeah,
well.
because they're bowling, talking about the spin bowling, they don't have anybody. Krishnappa Gautam didn't at all impress me on that first game. I hope he plays well tonight. Shreyas Gopal is another leg spinner who has played for the Mumbai Indians, wasn't quite well. Then you have somebody like Dhawal Kulkarni, who is at bit really good, sometimes not that good. And talking about the third one, fourth one bowler, I guess, Jofra Archer has to come in for the next game.
Yeah, Jofra Archer will probably come in for the next
If
game.
he's fit, he has to come in because Ben Laughlin, yes, he's a good bowler in the Big Bash, but I see Jofra Archer coming in.
Yeah, I also see Jofra Archer coming in. Ben Laughlin, he didn't have a good game. Jofra Archer, with such a high reputation, he's come in, and he will definitely come in. Well, now if there are any questions, we would take them. Otherwise,
Till then, we'll just discuss today's game. RR versus DD. Who are you backing there? Jaipur long boundaries. Till then, another question has come in. Should RCB play an overseas all-rounder or an overseas bowler in Team Saudi instead of Baz or Quinton de Kock? Which all-rounder will be better for the pitch in Bangalore? That's the same point we made just a while before. RCB definitely got their combination wrong in the first game.
Yeah.
Baz and Quinton both cannot play in the same playing 11.
No.
Now that Baz has looked really good in the first game, 43 or 24 deliveries, I
Yeah.
think he stays in the playing 11. Maybe De Kock
Parthiv
gets dropped,
Patel.
Parthiv comes in for him, and then you have to drop somebody like Sarfaraz Khan, who didn't impress in the first game.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's unfair for him.
Yeah, it's
but
unfair.
but for the team combination, you will drop somebody like Sarfaraz Khan. Who will you bring in? And here the good question is on the pitch in Bangalore, because they play the next game at Bangalore, Chinnaswamy Stadium against the Kings 11 Punjab. Who do you play? Somebody like Moeen Ali, Colin de Grandhomme, or you go in with an out and out fast bowler like Team Saudi?
I think you should go in with Colin de Grandhomme. Yes, they can go in with Team Saudi. Then you get you give Washington Sundara a higher
up the order,
and he's a higher order player actually.
Yeah.
So they can go in with Team Saudi, but I'm backing
if they bring in de Grandhomme, they have two advantages. First of all, they get a finisher.
Yeah.
And second, he can bowl 2 to 3 overs.
Yeah.
And he has been bowling good for New Zealand. If you have watched the Test series between New Zealand and England, he was excellent. He was really economical, 18 overs, some 37 runs or just like that. He was excellent. So I'm backing Colin de Grandhomme for the next game. And at Bangalore, I don't know how the pitch is going to behave because last year it changed drastically.
Yeah, it was really slow. But this time
in
around,
2016, we saw that the average first inning score or the average score was 180, and in 2017 it dropped down to 132. So If it is a slow wicket, you can bring in somebody like Moeen Ali.
Yeah, Moeen Ali can play, but you've got spinners, Indian spinners, of
Yeah,
course, as
Washington
well.
Sundar, Yuzvendra Chahal, you got Pawan
Yeah,
Negi and
you
Bhuvnesh
can,
Ashwin.
maybe get out someone like Hejrodia
Kejrodia, yeah.
and get in a Indian spinner. But yeah, it's a good point. Probably I would back Colin de Grandhomme.
Because he can smash those sixes at the end as well.
Yeah, we don't know anything about the pitch. When now Bangalore will be playing, when they play their first match, we'll start to know a bit about the pitch.
But maybe there are reports suggesting that it is going to be flat.
I think if it's flat, then de Grandhomme.
Yeah, de Grandhomme then play. Yeah, because Chahar and Sundar will handle their power play duties. Especially Washington Sundar had a bad day.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that he comes good in the next games.
I think he will come good. He's a better player. He got smashed for more than 40 runs, and I think he will have good better games.
Talking about just one point, I would like to make here: Sunil Narayan. How much has he impressed you with his bowling, especially with his batting?
Yeah, he's impressed me really. I think we knew about the batting. I actually thought that batting, someone might have found how to get him out, or someone might have found how to slow him down, but it's still not. I don't think it's still found out.
Because there's just one thing with Sunil Narayan: see ball,
Yeah,
hit ball.
yeah, and I think Dhoni did a really good decision getting the spinner in to against Sunil Narayan. I think what has impressed me most about Narayan is his bowling. I think his yesterday's game he bowled really well.
Yeah, 4 overs, 1 for 17 in a 200 game is excellent. So we'll just shift from KKR to KXIP. A question coming in here. When Aaron Finch joins the KXIP squad, one update on that: Aaron Finch has arrived in India. He has joined the team in Bangalore. Will he directly get a place in the 11? If yes, in whose place? Mujibur Rahman has impressed in his first match. Absolutely good point made there. Mujibur Rahman can't be dropped now.
No, I don't see him getting dropped. I think it's a big question which they have. Which are the four overseas? I
Yes,
think they've got.
Andrew Ty has to play with Mujibur Rahman.
Yeah.
Now Marcus Stoinis or David Miller. These two, one of these have to be left out. Maybe David Miller. Considering Marcus Stoinis is an all-rounder.
Maybe David Miller can be dropped. He's maybe I can even see KXIP probably just saying he's just come back, let him rest, let him stay, and they will just see how David Miller plays. If David Miller has a bad game, definitely Aaron Finch will.
And then
directly
Mayank
come in.
Agarwal is just left out. Then somebody like Manoj Tiwari will be slotted down the order.
Yeah.
You have Aaron Finch to open alongside KL Rahul. That will get as good as the opening player you will get, because KL Rahul has impressed everybody in the first game. I think just Chris Gayle was batting instead of KL Rahul.
Yeah, really.
50 of 14 deliveries, quicker than Chris Gayle in the IPL. He has got 15, 12 balls in the big bash, Chris Gayle. But KL Rahul has impressed. So maybe David Miller will have to be left out.
I feel KXIP just might say Aaron Finch, just rest a bit. Let's play David Miller,
Yeah, for the next game. If in the Bangalore pitch, Mujibur Rahman has to play.
Yeah, he definitely has to play. Andrew Ty has to play because their fast bowling
is a bit weak, because Mohit Sharma sometimes can be iffy. So definitely David Miller, because considering that Marcus Stoinis is an all-rounder again.
Yeah.
You want to keep your all-rounders in the side.
You definitely want Stoinis. I will see David Miller going out. If Aaron Finch wants, if he has to come in, then David Miller will.
But as he said, he might be rested for the next game against RCB and Bangalore. So that's it from Cricket Adda today. Hope you enjoyed the live streaming. We got a lot of questions, especially from Saurabh Wandekar. Good questions. Thank you for watching the video. Please keep on watching Cricket Adda. Please keep on watching our previews. Watch our curtain raiser. Thank you for all the support. And hope you enjoyed the live streaming.
Yeah, so thank you for watching our videos. Thank you for watching this live stream. Thank you for all the questions, everyone who joined. So keep on watching Cricket Adda and keep on watching all our live sessions, which will be hopefully coming out.
And watch RR versus DD today and Star Sports 1 HD. Thank you very much. RR versus DD at Jaipur. Both the teams have lost their first game. Who are you backing? Quickly prediction.
I am backing DD.
Thank you very much, Cricket Adda.